After we attended the Lamaze class, it was a completely different experience because we got to know so much. The entire perspective to childbirth changed, and we got to know the power of a woman's body. We felt very confident, and it was not about the small nitty-gritties. It was about the overall impact that it had on us. So that was very, very important, and it was probably the most important part of our entire experience. So the Lamaze class, according to me, was a game changer. It was the thing that empowered me and empowered us to actually become very positive and very confident about natural birth.
Definitely, I would recommend that everybody should attend the Lamaze class, because that is something which helped me prepare for this birth of our second child. I even did some kind of a revision just before coming to the birthing center on the delivery date, just to make sure that I know what I have to do and what is my role. So throughout the delivery, I kind of remained calm, and I believe that she can do it. Like, that's one of the Lamaze philosophies, that the mother can do it, and ultimately the mother will do it. So my role is just to support her and to make sure that she doesn't fail, she doesn't feel left out, and she's not scared, and she is motivated. So that's not a small role, and I did my best. So it's thanks to the Lamaze class and all the videos that were shown to us during the classes,
which both of us attended, and I think we had attended when you were 7 months pregnant, right? So she was 7 months pregnant by then, and we attended the class with so many other couples, and we came to know about so many things which we never even knew. And obviously we are staying at Hyderabad, far from our family, so it is our first child and we didn't know anything. So Dr. Vijaya took us through each and everything, and there were so many interactions, videos and interactive classes, how to go through the labor, how to take care after the baby is born, and what to do throughout the labor, what to eat, what not to eat, and how to take care of yourself. There were so many myths that we had in mind, which were all removed. And finally, when the day came, day before yesterday, during the labor, when we were over here, everything counted of the class. All that we learned over there actually helped us through. As far as I know, I was present throughout the labor with my wife, and by the end of the labor, I had a very different feeling. I think I had something amazing in my hands, plus the feeling that I have for my wife is totally different now. And after, what I think is, when I attended the Lamaze class especially, I knew exactly what I had to do. So if anybody who is watching this video, all the husbands especially, they should attend these classes, and they should be with their wife during the course of labor.
And the Lamaze classes, please believe me, it's a big time myth buster. All the midwives' tales, all the things that doctors nowadays they take for granted, there are so many things that we came to know that they are not even required, and there are so many things that are being played with us. After all, this is our body, we are human beings. Even though if we are pregnant, that doesn't make us even less human. So doctors, many a times they like to do experiments with our body, and we got to know about so many things which are required and which are not required.
There are lot many techniques, lot many exercises, lot many dietary instructions which are given to us. Basically the confidence and boost that they have given to us is something which we could. She was constantly in touch with Vijaya. They are available at any point of time if you have any issues or any clarifications. Not only this, they conduct other apart from Lamaze classes, they do conduct postpartum, prenatal massages, and they show to us that how this can be done. So I don't think in these days so many number of instructions and techniques are given in any of the hospitals even I have ever heard of. Just attend the Lamaze classes, that's it. You will come to know it. What is about normal delivery, how easy it is to manage for the ladies. A lot of them get into panic mode, they don't even move. It's not like that. So that was really helpful to us, and attending the Lamaze classes was a real big boost.
Most of the family gets to know that, okay, this is what you need to do in case of an emergency and this is how you manage things.
Luckily, because we had attended Lamaze classes, so we were mentally prepared, so that gave us the confidence to go in for a natural birth. So it's like preparing you, like even the water breaks, you hold on for some time. You don't really necessarily have to go in for a C-section, even though there are family doctors who are pressurizing you, there are other people who you talk to, you read information on the net saying there might be an infection. In her case, we were definitely worried because the water broke early and there were no contractions. But I think it was completely Vijaya's and Crystal's body language and confidence and consistently being on the phone with her late at night or in the evening to keep her going largely, actually.
So I think Lamaze classes basically prepares you for everything that is going to happen during the birth process, right? Right from breathing exercises, relaxation techniques during labor, and the entire labor process itself. You just kind of what to expect, and you know how to deal with it at the time. Of course, labor is stressful, but I think what came very handy was the breathing exercises, relaxation techniques.
Process of my wife's pregnancy, yes, we have attended Lamaze classes, which you should say should be mandated, if possible, by the government or by the authorities, whoever have to be, for any one of the parent. Absolutely, there was no panic with both of us. We were very confident, trying to understand, and we were running through our notes from the Lamaze classes. That gave us a lot of, it showed us a lot of light. Yeah, the most important part was I was massaging her, remembering all the topics and things from Lamaze classes and notes, and she was also using her techniques, the different kinds of postures and everything, which really helped actually, and it helped a lot. From there, yes, from 11 PM in the night, we were waiting like, okay, baby might come out any minute, and the process was very exciting for all of us. And she was undergoing kind of pain which I never saw since marriage on her face, and suddenly, the very next second after the baby has popped out and we caught him, she's like laughing, smiling.
See, the role of an husband or the role of an father in terms of this delivery is very important actually, and I think they gave me a very good comfort zone to know more about the pregnancy process and what they myths or pros and cons about the C-section, and I think that's what made me to be much more strong in terms of taking normal delivery decision. Okay, in spite of people telling about or challenging us, because it's been 40 weeks and still we were struggling with taking a decision. Like many people has confused us and threatened us with the decisions taking that why don't you go for C-section? I think it's a huge risk what you're taking. But only one thing I was very confident within me is that I just trusted very blindly. And I always believed the doctors over here saying that I see the way I relied on them is I think in my life they will be the first person to say if we require C-section. So that's the confidence which was built in me, and I think that's the confidence which made my wife also to do the cesarean normal delivery.
So that's what, and the Lamaze classes are exceptionally good, and I think
initially when we thought, it was actually, worth investing in that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Honestly, but I think that brought two of us, much together
and understanding
the entire process, and then also dealing with the challenges what we face.
Because
and answering to the stupid question, 41 weeks and not into labor yet, why don't you go for the C-section? And then then we could answer people easily saying that we can actually wait until 42 weeks and we know how to manage even if we get contractions and everything, and people looked at us like fools. But I think the confidence, which was built in these classes, I think it was worth it.
That's true. I think the Lamaze classes makes the difference over there.
Yeah, we had a couple of them, whether they have not birthed, I don't think they have birthed with Healthy Mother, but they attended the Lamaze classes because they were beneficial.
Yeah.
So we have really learned a lot. I mean, being a second-time mother, but still a lot of things were new to me. Because first it was just because I didn't have any experience of a contraction, what it means, what is active labor or early labor. I didn't know anything. And also, how a husband can, play a role in supporting his wife and all. But knowing and then experiencing it during labor. So that was the connect.
And Lamaze class, we have no words to describe how we felt. It was like a different planet that we were on before and after, and I think the time and money that we spent on Lamaze class was the best investment we've made till date in our life. Preparing for labor, getting into labor with good information, with good knowledge of how it might go and how it is supposed to go and what you can expect, makes it so much easier than getting into it just like that. And that helped us understand what interventions are and why they are so unnecessary and what are the real reasons why somebody would get into a C-section. And it was quite disheartening for me that first time I went into a C-section for no reason at all. And that made me more confident and more willing that this time I have to have a natural birth, because these days when I started meeting some gynecologists when I conceived the second time, having a natural birth after a C-section was almost medically impossible, especially with the gap I have, because it was just 17 months. So I was given a list of things that would go wrong. But when I came to Healthy Mothers and Dr. Vijaya, she said, why not? I think the whole point during Lamaze class that we understood was to have a healthy baby, no matter what. But it didn't mean to us that first time the way I was made to feel is my body did something wrong. But in Lamaze class, what I understood is my body is going to do perfectly fine. If something goes wrong, yes, there are things that can be done, but at least I want to try my best. So it was beautiful. It was a beautiful experience, Lamaze class. Although there was pain, and the Lamaze class helped us. We were at home for like 2.5 days, and he knew exactly what to do, and I loved that. The fact that he was so confident, and he exactly made me feel the way I wanted to feel during the pain, during the contractions. Just let me sail through it. His words and his actions and everything that he observed and learned in Lamaze, it was beautiful.